Good morning, everybody. My name is Jody. My husband David John and I have a small farm in the panhandle of North Idaho. These are stories and adventures, so let's get on with today. And yes, I have some naughty chickens out, but I also have 2 Muscovy hens out. So let's see if I can find them, get them some scratch, and get them back in. Grab your scratch. Come on, all 3, come back in, I'll bring you some water. That went relatively easy, so let's get these guys watered, and I'll explain what's going on over in this pen. So I have gone through and separated the Muscovies and the geese, because the other day this poor pretty little black and white Muscovy hen, those 3 were just picking on her to absolute no end. At one point, I came out to separate them because I thought they were going to wind up drowning her. So dug out the gate and moved the geese over there, and the Muscovies have this pen. And it is looking like Little Lucky Duck, the last duckling from last year, is a little girl. And from the logs out front, because the guy my father-in-law had cut down the trees, had cut the logs way too long for us to use other than in the fire pit. But we have plans of expanding the garden a little more raised beds, so we can use these in the hugelkultur style of the raised beds. But right now it's a jungle gym for the Muscovies. Right there along the front of the greenhouse. And it's probably this area right in here that the hens are jumping up on the logs and jumping out. Gonna have to add more fishing line there. And with the separating of the geese and Muscovies, you may be wondering what happened to poor Roe. Well, he's still fine. We don't really want him in with the Muscovies right now, because if he breeds with the hens, he creates meals, which is fine, because those would just be meat ducks. Had him in with the geese, and he was just completely harassing Betty to no end. So Roe got brought over here with the chickens and turkeys. So the next thing we may be separating will be the turkeys from the chickens. Put the fence back here along in that open doorway, and then the turkeys would have for the spring this run. Still debating on that, so we'll see. But Shadow is molting and completely off her brood, which is good. LeBron's is still laying an egg every other day. But wild turkey wise, my dad said that they're not, the wild turkeys up at my mom and dad's haven't started their breeding season yet, so I'm not going to be worried about him and them breeding yet, because it's still early, so give them a little while longer. And on that, I gotta collect a couple Muscovy eggs and chicken eggs, get them down to the house, get a fire in the greenhouse to work on a project in there. Now that I got a fire going in here, it'll warm up. I mean, it's 61 and rising already, but since I am going to be painting, definitely want to make sure it's nice and toasty in here so I can move on with the other projects, but show you what we got done in here. And yeah, the brassicas should be able to get moved out here this afternoon. But like I said before, we've got that wall plasticed in. We did go through and get half of the ceiling done. We still need to insulate over here, but this wall here has been insulated in plastic, and this is the one that I need to paint today. And we have gone through down below, just have that spot and under the wood stove to get insulated. So I got that back wall painted with the wood stove going and the sun out. It is 95 in here. I have the door open just for airflow. But I'm gonna go through and get this last section of insulation put in so I can get that decking put in and get the plants moved out here. 23. And if I was doing a bunch of this, I wouldn't be using the hand stapler, I'd be using the electric stapler. But since I just have this one square to fill up, I'm just going to use this. And I've got this little joint right here that I've had to trim the insulation around. Trim a little spot for there. It will be good to plastic. How much do I need? And I'm not going to trim this one down because the fact that it will eventually wrap all the way around. So just going to get this in here and trimmed underneath enough that I can get the decking put back on. Okay, go and get this guy taped together. And what I'm using is a hybrid poly hanging seaming tape just to seal where the seams are, to keep water from leaching down, in theory, onto the insulation. So that's got that sealed up. Now I can put the decking on. Okay, so my daughter, Darla Ann, helped me get the brassicas all brought out. Only had one casualty tray. And I told her she didn't have to throw the broccolis on the ground just because she doesn't like them. But she's going to help me get the shelving unit put up on this wall, and hopefully we can get it relatively level. So on with getting this wall ready to put the pansies on. Screws and screw gun. Whoa, that's shooting a little high. How about you point at us so you can hear us talk? So even though the bottom shelf, which is going to be about this level, is going to be an 8-footer, all I had at work was 4-footers. Scary how much stuff we're running out of. So we're going to do one 8-foot, and then we're going to stagger the rest up the wall so we can have taller plants to put on it. We're going to need this, but not at the moment. So I think the first one is going to go about right there. I'm going to take the tape measure. I think that's about 1 foot down from this seam.
Yep.
Not a bad guess, Mom. So and there's my beauty. Here's your pin. And it's going to be, we'll have 1, 2, and then 3. So you want to, from here, measure down your foot. And we'll mark that. That will be the top of one bracket. Measure from here down a foot. Top of the second bracket. Okay, do you want a hold or do you want a screw?
Okay.
About like that. And don't break a nail.
Ooh, that's a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that looks pretty solid. So now we're gonna grab the pansies out of the trailer and get them on the shelves. Perfect. So there, we've got the greenhouse full, and now it's time to go clean up the seed shed. Well, now that the brassicas and most of the pansies have been moved out into the greenhouse, have room for more stuff in here. Gonna take you through and show you what it looks like in here. And the experiment I was doing on whether the germination table versus just a warm room, which is better. I did finally get some stuff to pop on that, and it was about 8 days after the stuff that was on the germination table started. So let's start there, and then we'll take a look at the seed shed. The tray that's just sitting here on the counter, as you can see, got some 69 was The sweet bell peppers that we saved, have some of them popping up. Nothing on the other cells. Let's look at the one that's on the germination table. And on that one, it's pretty impressive. So 69 here. Got really good germination on 68, which was the jalapeno. I got a couple of them coming. And then this one here, the 67, is the Mad Hatter. The germination table is definitely well worth the investment just on the speed up of time of getting stuff germinated, especially peppers since they take so long to germinate. But right here is some kind of leggy broccolis, and this is the early snowball cauliflower. Trying that one again. This is Abe Lincoln tomato. More tomatoes. And I have started in the 4-inch cups, the big pumpkins. Have to get a couple more trays filled up of squashes and all of that. But as you see, empty spaces. But I got the rest of the petunias up potted into a 4-inch. These pepper plants down here are getting really close to about being ready to be transplanted. I don't want to make the same mistake with them as I did the tomatoes and do it too early. Tomatoes and my basil. See what I mean by sickly tomatoes? Kind of have them under the black magics to... Oh, that's not basil. That's thyme. There's my basil. But this is the salsa mix. Almost every tray, but this one right here, everything has germinated in. So these tomatoes here look really good. And these ones up here. Got petunias under the black magic light. Have some more peppers back there that I think these guys are even closer. Yeah, they're starting to almost be ready to transplant. Got tomatoes up there. The rest of my pansies that I transplanted last night, and those guys on Sunday will, or the day that you're watching this, will be going up into the greenhouse. I just want to give them a day or two in here to help reduce the shock on them. These tomatoes look pretty good. Some more kind of sickly ones. And I've got these guys over here. But my petunias in the big pots, they're starting to take off. So that's kind of pretty much where I'm at. And the real main lesson I learned was don't rush. Even though the germination table helps get them germinated faster, they still need time to grow the root system before you start transplanting them. So definitely not going to rush the other tomato seedlings that I have coming up to get them transplanted. I'd rather have healthy plants than sickly ones that I have to babysit. And I did go through and wind up culling a tray full of pots of ones that just weren't gonna make it. So gonna let Miss Bella in and get on with getting 4-inch pots planted. So that's where I'm going to end today's video. I hope you have a good day and a good week. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for the next adventure here at Moose Flats Farm. Bye for now.